Doorbell cameras were supposed to make us feel safer, but sometimes they capture things no one can explain. Tonight's story isn't just about what the camera saw, it's about what came after. And once you hear the backstory behind this footage, you'll never look at your front door the same way again. It started with a simple Reddit post. A man named Evan uploaded doorbell camera footage from his quiet suburban home. He said it was taken around 3:17 a.m. the night he heard knocking, but when he opened the door, no one was there. In the video, you can see a figure standing motionless just outside the porch light's reach. The man, tall, wearing a hoodie, doesn't move, doesn't speak, doesn't even blink. But as the seconds pass, his head begins to tilt slowly and naturally, until it's almost horizontal. Then, he takes one step closer. Evan's voice can be heard off camera. Evan, nervous, "Who's there?" "You okay, man?" No reply, just that eerie tilt. And then the man vanishes from frame, in a single flicker of static. The clip ends there, but that's not what disturbed people most. It was what came next. Commenters started digging. Someone recognized the porch light, the house number it matched, an unsolved missing person case from 3 years earlier, a delivery driver named Daniel Cross, who disappeared on the exact same street. His last GPS ping? Just outside Evan's house. And here's where it gets worse. Daniel's sister said he went missing after making a final delivery that night, to that same address. After posting the footage, Evan said his doorbell kept ringing randomly, always at 3:17 a.m. He unplugged it. It still rang. He even removed the power entirely. The button still glowed red. When he finally checked his saved footage again, there were new recordings, but he hadn't reconnected the camera. One of them showed something impossible, a man standing at the door again. But this time, his face was blurred like static, and behind him, on the road, you could faintly see an old delivery van with the logo of the company Daniel once worked for. Police called it a glitch. Evan called it a haunting. Days later, neighbors reported the smell of gas coming from Evan's house. Authorities entered. Ivan was gone. His car, phone, everything left behind. Only one thing was found still running, his doorbell camera. Inside its memory card were 3 final clips. The last one shows Ivan himself, standing at his own front door, facing the camera from the outside, his head tilted, perfectly horizontal, the same eerie angle as the man from before. And behind him, through the darkness, a faint voice whispers, whisper, distorted, "Your shift isn't over yet." No trace of Ivan was ever found, but people living nearby say the doorbell still rings sometimes in the middle of the night, when the street is silent and the air feels colder than usual. Some claim they've seen a red glow from the porch, as if the button lights up on its own. And those who've watched the footage say one final chilling detail stands out. When Evan turns to face the camera, in that last clip, if you brighten the image, you can see a reflection in the glass behind him, another figure, holding a package. So next time your doorbell rings after midnight, maybe just let it ring. Weeks passed after Evan's disappearance, and the house remained empty. But the neighbors couldn't ignore what kept happening. Every few nights, the faint sound of a doorbell would echo through the street, even though the power to the house had been cut. One neighbor, Mrs. Langford, said she saw a light flickering on the porch, followed by a tall figure walking away toward the woods. When police came to check, the porch light was cold, the doorbell camera was gone, and muddy footprints led down the path to a dead end. The strange thing? The prints didn't stop, they just faded, as if the person had slowly vanished into thin air. From then on, no one dared to walk that side of the street after dark. A few months later, a new family moved into the house, unaware of its history. The father, Paul, worked late nights, and one morning, he found a package on the porch. No label, no address, just his name written in shaky handwriting. Inside was a small black memory card. Against his wife's wishes, he inserted it into their laptop. The screen went black for a second, then flashed with corrupted video, grainy, distorted, full of static. Slowly, an image appeared, a man in a hoodie standing at the very same door. But this time, the man wasn't Evan, it was Paul himself, staring blankly into the camera, as if he'd been filmed from the other side of time. The footage ended abruptly, with a single whisper, "You shouldn't have moved in." The laptop shut down by itself, and when Paul tried to turn it on again, the memory card was gone. From that night onward, the doorbell began ringing again, always at 3:17 a.m. Paul would check every time, but there was never anyone there. The final straw came when his daughter started waking up crying, saying she heard knocking and someone whispering her name through her bedroom window. When Paul finally reviewed the new doorbell footage, his blood ran cold. In one clip, he saw his daughter standing at the front door in the middle of the night barefoot, eyes closed, completely still. Behind her, through the darkness, a faint outline of a tall figure watched from the street. Paul ran to her room immediately, but she was sound asleep in her bed. The timestamp on the footage, 3:17 a.m. The family left the next day. The house sits empty again, and no one's rented it since. But recently, a local real estate agent claimed the property's doorbell camera still uploads clips to the cloud even though the house hasn't had Wi-Fi or power for over a year. Those who've dared to check the footage say the same man still appears, standing at the door, head tilted, waiting, and in the latest clip, there's a new reflection in the window, a man holding a camera, recording from across the street. Some people think it's Yvonne. Others think it's whoever's next. But one thing's certain, the doorbell keeps ringing, and the shift never ends. Months later, online forums began lighting up with new posts, claiming to have seen the tilted man. Viewers from completely different towns shared screenshots from their own doorbell cameras. Same shape, same crooked head, same red glow on the button just before the figure appears. Some swore they heard whispering through their speakers at night, their smart devices glitching or activating by themselves. One man even claimed his camera sent him a live alert at 3:17 a.m., showing himself standing outside his own door, motionless, staring at the lens. When police arrived, he was gone, but the feed showed his face pressed up against the camera, only seconds before. The timestamp, once again, matched the same cursed minute. It was as if whatever haunted that first house had learned to travel through the very technology built to keep people safe. As weeks passed, an urban legend spread across the internet. The doorbell man, a ghost born from recorded regret, trapped between signal and silence. Some say he was a lost soul of a delivery driver doomed to keep delivering to doors that no longer welcome him. Others believe it's the spirit of anyone who watches the cursed footage for too long, their reflection slowly bending into that same unnatural tilt. But if you ever hear your doorbell ring in the middle of the night, and there's no one there, don't check the footage. Don't open the app. Don't even look outside. Because sometimes, the moment you see him, that's when he finally sees you too. Thanks for watching Midnight Story. If you want more disturbing tales caught on camera, lock your doors, check your cameras, and subscribe, because next time, it might be your front door.